Genshin Impact tier list. You know, the thing you search for as a new player to know which characters to play so that you can clear the abyss, or how there's like a million of them out there. With so many, the top results in a Google search must have the most accurate information. They don't. Now within the Genshin community, there are many conflicting opinions about who is strong and who is not. These tier lists I'm about to show you are not only problematic in placement, but how they organize their lists and how misleading they can be. Here are some clips from my stream over at Twitch going over these tier lists. This one is from Genshin.gg. It is very misleading at first glance, right? You have SS plus tier, S plus tier, S tier, A tier, B, and C, right? You start with the SS plus. It's like, okay, why not just make it S? You know, just make it a traditional S, A, B, C, D, E, F, or whatever. First of all, here's the first problem I see. Bennett is not in a tier of his own. Now, Bennett is crazy. He's absolutely nuts. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know this. Bennett, he's just the best character in the game, hands down. He's a 4-star, but he's secretly a 6-star. There's a lot of characters in each tier. Like, look at this S tier. It's clumped so much. For sure, Goro is not on the same level as like Child or even Sucrose. In no universe is Goro sharing the same tier as Child and Sucrose. The constellations are kind of weird too, right? You have some C0 characters, you have some C2, right? C1. It's really misleading, right? Because not a lot of people, at least for 5 stars, are gonna get constellations, right? And it's not fair for you to be comparing a C0 Child to a C2 Raiden. If you're gonna compare them at the same constellation levels. This next tier list is by game8.co. It's the second option that pops up when you Google Genshin tier list. So a lot of people will be seeing this as a new player. They have a general tier list, a C0 tier list, and a C6 tier list. Already, I can see this from an organizational standpoint better than the last one. Double S again. Okay, it's not as bad as the last one, but it's still pretty unnecessary. The constellations are just all over the place for this general one. So I'm just gonna move to C0. Let's see, C0 tier list. Alright, so DPS we have Ayaka, Ganyu, Hu Tao, Ito, Ayato, and Yolan. As a main DPS, sure, Ayaka, Ganyu, Hu Tao, yeah, sure, they could be double S for DPS category, sure. But Ito, Ayato, and Yolan's not even a main DPS. Most of her damage is dealt off field. Yeah, keep in mind these are all C0. So even the 4 stars. 4 stars get a lot better with constellations. But 4-star constellations are easier to get, so unlike 5 stars where you can only get them when their banner is up. There's just a lot of factors that you need to consider in a tier list that kind of makes making one impossible. But people still make them, and so we can judge them and make fun of them. And that's what we're doing. You're joking. This is the biggest copium I've ever seen. Xingqiu should definitely be higher. Even at C0, he's still SS. His burst still exists at C0. I mean, this is all just misleading still, right? Still, right? Even though they like have it all, they tell you it's all C6, they tell you it's all C0. It's not as bad as the other one, but you know, it's still kind of misleading. Because you're definitely not going to C6 every character. You are not going to have C0 of every character too, right? So, you know, it's just, what can you do? They have their general tier list. They have explanations as well. We'll go over a few of them. Let's see, the general tier list. We have Venti, Kazuha, Zhongli, Hu Tao, Raiden Shogun, Ganyu, Bennett, Eula. This is just wrong. A lot of this is just wrong. There's so many problems. Like, Xingqiu is at B. Sucrose is at B. Sucrose is bonkers, man. You have Iridescent Venom and Thrilling Tales and EM buff. Like, what more do you want? Okay, so SS tier, we'll start out with Venti. This explanation, it reads just like an ad for the game. It's basically just an ad. Wait, Kaching is here? At S tier? No way. Kaching features incredibly high base stats, which make her stand out against the other characters. This sword and electro user ranks among the best in all categories: attack power, HP, and defense. This makes her an amazing melee fighter, but she also has strong electro abilities. Unfortunately, she doesn't pair well with other characters as electro hasn't been upgraded in some time. Imagine how many people are gonna read this like tier list and say, oh, Kaching is S tier? She has high base stats? Oh, let me build her. And then they build her, they play with her, they can't clear the abyss, and they're like, what's wrong with my Kaching? That's just... In other words, it can take ages before beta reaches her potential, while there are easier and better alternatives available. Looking at you, Razor. So they believe that Razor is better than Beto. Dude, does Christian Vaz play Genshin? If you compare the two, that's just false. Pretty much, many Genshin Impact tier lists are not reliable. Maybe the best way to find out which characters are the best is to just play them yourself and figure out what characters you like playing the best. At the end of the day, Genshin is meant to be enjoyed at your own pace and at your own time. There's no pressure to be better than another player because it's a single player game. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, leave a like, comment, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.